Hello! Unless I'm otherwise mistaken, this is live, but I can't tell because my camera's not working. My voice seems to be working, the camera is not. If you are sitting in the chat, let me know to see if this is actually working or not. That would be super fantastic. We're actually waiting for some of our players to show up. One of them was also seeming to have some difficulties with the link. Couples are waiting to put down one of their kids, and the other one is probably also doing the same. So, we shall see what we can do here. Yay for technical difficulties! Oh goody, the sound does work. So it says one of our regular players who is not able to play today waves. He waves. I can't wave because you can't see me. There's no camera. I have a camera. It's attached. I don't know why it's not working. Let's try another USB port. See if that happens. This is all screwy. Yay for stuff.
All right, can you hear me?
Well, Zach, I can hear you, yes.
Fantastic.
Glad you can hear me, but I don't know why you're coming through my speakers and not my headset.
Huh.
Ah, that's working now.
I killed my camera for bandwidth issues, so.
That's cool. I didn't. My camera's just straight up not working.
That's weird.
Yeah, my computer's been all sorts of funky lately. So I don't know what the deal is. Let's see if we can get it working.
So we're just waiting on Tim then?
We were waiting on Tim and Lydia and Nolan. So you've had more experience with... hey, my camera's up and working. Look at that. So you've had some experience with Savage World systems, right?
Indeed I have.
So tell me a little bit about it, since I've actually never played it or run it before, so this is going to be an entertaining night. What do you like about it most?
The rolling is very quick. The math isn't terribly complicated. Handle heroic combat much better, much more quickly than a lot of clunkier systems. Like Pathfinder, absolutely sluggish. Shadowrun I've tried, really mechanically heavy. Yeah, it's just Savage World. It's light.
Cool. So, what are some failings do you think about the system itself?
Yeah, as my roommate just said from across the room, because he can hear you. It is easy to kind of game it and break it a bit.
Well, in Rifts, it's already kind of gamey and broken, so I don't know how much more you can break a system that's in a setting that's already broken.
Yeah, they're pretty much hand in hand there.
Yeah. For myself, like I said, I've never played this, but I have played plenty of Rifts back in the day, and it was one of my favorite games. Not because it's just crazy, because it totally is. It was just really fun. I know certain celebrity DMs have a different opinion on that, but I don't agree with them. I mean, yes, it's got its own failings, like every system does, but it's always been fun for me. There we go.
I like the setting. I love the setting. It's one of those kitchen sink settings, right? There's everything there. You can find something.
Yeah.
But the rules made me want to cut myself.
Yeah, they definitely deserve some house ruling, which I do heavily every time I play any kind of Palladium game. Which we will eventually get to the Palladium system in this show. We're going to heavily hurt ourselves because I'm just gonna play the straight system, which is what we have been doing. We don't try not to customize things too much, so people can see how the game works in its base form. So that'll be entertaining because I would like to play Robotech one of these days.
Oh, fuck, it works.
Hey, look at that! Because I loved Robotech and Rifts because that was also very fun. I wish I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but sadly I do not. So they're all kind of the same game anyway, just with a different skin on it. So
I've tried Dead Rain by Palladium, their zombie apocalypse thing, using the same rules.
Yeah.
They actually cleaned up a lot of their problems with it, too.
Yeah, there's the newest edition that they came out with cleaned up quite a bit of stuff. Same with the Robotech books. The newest iteration of it, they cleaned up a bunch of stuff, but they didn't do as well. I have all the old
stuff. Get
stuff.
The license back again?
They've had the license for Robotech.
For a while.
I didn't think so. They've been releasing their old books anyway on Drive-Thru RPG. I don't think they've released any of the newer ones. And I was wanting them to release the Shadow Chronicles book because I actually don't have that one. But yeah, cool stuff. So Tim said he'd be about 10-15 minutes late. I don't know what Nolan's doing, but I'm not sure if he...
And on what everybody else is playing?
Yeah, Nolan was talking up playing a Mind Melter, and I don't remember if Tim told me what he and Lydia had planned on. He was talking about rolling up characters, and I was like, apparently you did not read my emails, but that's okay. So we'll see how this goes. It's always super entertaining whenever we try to do things, because we all have crazy lives, so it's really hard to get everybody together. So what is the one thing that has attracted you most to the Rift setting? Because you said you really liked it. What about it?
I like the tech magic mashup stuff. And the fact that the world, again, there's a little bit of everything in there. You can kind of find something a player would like to play if you go through enough source books.
Yeah.
Or an opponent they've never faced, or something strange and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing that I always had fun with, too, as a kid, aside from the fact that it was just kind of one of the games that we always had around for whatever reason. It's always like the D&D Red Box, and then, you know, the Basic Edition, and then Rifts. It's like pretty much the only games people played where I was. So it's what we played. And it was always just fun. You know, you could run around with a literal knight from a fantasy campaign and then a cyber knight, and, you know, which is basically like a really... different Jedi, if you will, which is how we played them, and just jack
That's
people.
Pretty much what they are.
Yeah, they're cybernetically enhanced Jedi. So I always had fun playing Cyber Knights, not like a Paladin, which some people played them as, and that always irked me. Like they're not Paladins, they're Jedi, which is different fundamentally. Cool. So what's one thing, since I've, like I said, never run this before, what's one thing that, in your opinion, I should look out for?
You know how the raise system works, right?
I have read about it, yeah.
Okay.
But I
don't...
So
every 4 points...
Every 4 points. I want to say I've watched them officially play this campaign setting, so I watched their game. So I'm not completely foreign. I just have never played or never run this game. So you were talking about the raises. You know, every 4 you get another raise.
Bingo. Doesn't allow multiple raises to really stack up past a certain point. I think they cut off after a certain bit. Like it doesn't give you bonus damage above 1 wound, for instance. Mm-hmm. Like that. You can get kind of crazy if you let multiple raises stack together for wounding. You can knock a card out like that.
Right. Right.
And for a long time, I had ran it as if all raises counted equally, and
that had to be kind of nuts.
Yeah. My players had to learn how to take cover.
I bet. Which they should do anyway. Okay. So what we'll be doing is actually using the slightly scaled down version, the test drive. I do have the full version of the game, but I didn't have time to read all of that because life gets in the way. But this is pretty much the basic system anyway. So there isn't.
Yeah, the test drive is. I did take a quick peruse through it when you sent it to me. It's just.
Yeah. I have looked through the actual core book previously, like way before I even thought of doing the show, and I liked that this was really a really basic version. And it's just bare bones. This is the information you need. Obviously, it doesn't have character creation or anything like that. But even they say at the beginning that this was made for their one-page adventures, which is actually pretty neat. I like that Pinnacle does that. Is that they periodically release one-page adventures for people to play as, and they have free characters that you can download for different settings and things like that. And you can just grab a test drive, grab a one-page adventure write-up, a couple of characters, and sit down and boom, you got a game. So I as far as neat things about the company and the system itself, I really like that they've taken care of players like that. I don't like people that are stingy with their material, honestly.
They're also really accommodating to third-party writing. Want to build settings in the Savage World system?
Mm-hmm.
It was either converted to Savage Worlds or was written Pinnacle, but by a third party saying, "Hey, can you use Savage Worlds?" Then let them do it.
Yeah. That's a big thing in the industry right now. Anyway, is people being able to write for pretty much any game, which I super appreciate. Not just because I like to create content myself, because actually I've created loads of stuff, but I haven't actually put it up for sale. I haven't converted any of it because it's all like handwritten notes and crap, and I don't want to sit down and type all that out. But I like the material.
Back in the day.
Yeah. I like the material.
About 10 years ago, I actually had some stuff, but our company folded after a couple of months.
Yeah. We've been limping it along, just doing stuff. And I've got stuff that I post, and we have articles that we write periodically. But our life has just been nuts, so it's kind of hard to be consistent with everything. But I do try and do some stuff. We've got actually some other projects that are coming up for Dungeons and Dragons mostly. There are spell sheets that we're currently creating where we are attempting to go through the wizard spell list and make each spell a page in an illuminated manuscript. So it's got.
That's gonna take a while.
Yeah. It's yeah. So each page is going to have its own page border, but I'm only going to make like 4 or 5 so I don't kill myself. Scan them and then print them out as I need them, so that I can do the calligraphy on top of that and then design it as it needs to be, and then release those. But we're going to try. The idea is to make each page like it is discovered in a dungeon, so you can hand it out to a player. They've gone exploring in the dungeon, and as part of the treasure they find a spell, so they can start collecting their own spells and gathering them like that. So that's one thing that we're currently doing, and I do have one spell sheet currently done, and I'm waiting for some. There's another party involved, and I'm waiting to hear back from them on what they plan on doing with that before I release it to the wider public in my format. And then I've created some maps and things as well. And then other things that I've been doing lately is there's a hand-drawn character sheet for 5th edition that I'm making that's in A5 format.
You don't post that up, the prototype on that?
Yeah, no, I've posted it on loads of places where you can see it on our website. You can see it on our Facebook page. I post it to DM Scotty's page periodically. His if anybody doesn't know who that is, on Facebook, go look him up. You can also find his YouTube channel. He does amazing stuff for the tabletop on how to make cheap terrain and other cool projects. But I post on there and just lots of other places so people can see what we're doing. We are going to try and make it cheap, but we're going to offer it in PDF when it's done. But also we are going to try and make it as a print-on-demand item, because a lot of people would like to have Google printouts of them and not just print it out from their own home computers. So that's one thing we hope to get done before the end of the year. Tim!
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going.
Cool.
Our boy is asleep. Our girl kind of isn't. We'll
That's
see
okay.
how it goes.
My kids, I think, are still awake too. They're just in a different room. Nolan knows we're playing. He planned on joining us, but you know, usually we start at 9 and not 8. I was trying to cut you guys some slack, but you know, we've shifted times, so yeah, he may be thinking it's at 9 and not 8, even though I told him otherwise, and sent him emails and all of that fun stuff. So I've sent him a number of texts, but we can do some other stuff. Did you manage to look through the character archetypes and pick one?
I did. I'm gonna go with a mind melter.
Cool. Okay, Nolan had chosen that as well, so there will be 2 of you, unless you want to pick something different right now.
No, that's all right. I've been looking at it all evening.
Okay, that's fine.
And then Lydia's gonna be the Cyber Knight.
Nice. We were just talking about them. Cool. All right. So as I said, you don't have to keep the background, or in the email I said you don't have to keep the backgrounds or anything like that. You can completely customize the character. To be your own, just use the archetypes as a set of stats and abilities and things like that, and then add your own names and backgrounds. But let's get some information recorded so that we can get started here. Hold on, let me figure out where the heck I am in my brain dome. All right, Zach, who are you playing?
The Juicer, Long Walker, Sure Shot.
Long Walker, Sure Shot. Nice.
I just kept the default name. It kind of grew on me.
Sure shot. Okay. Tim, who are you playing? You said the Mind Melder. What did you have a specific name set up or anything?
No.
Do you want to come
I
up
hate coming up with names.
First thing to mind, dude. Or you can just use the default one that works too. Default your name. No one will have to pick something.
Yeah, let's just go with the default. That'd be easier for me to do. Such short notice.
Retheme on stuff.
Was I breaking up?
Well, I was talking and you broke up a little bit, but what were you saying?
Yeah, let's just go ahead with the generic name for this guy. It's fine by me.
Okay.
Orson Jaconde.
Hey guys, are we live on Facebook right now, or on YouTube, or not? No.
What are we doing?
That was very garbled. I couldn't hear it.
Right now on. Gotcha. Time to go make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, probably. What were you asking?
If we're running up on YouTube now, or if I've got time to duck out and make a coffee.
Oh, probably. Okay, so all right, sounds good. Orson Jaconde.
Archetype book 1. It's toward the end.
Yeah, no, I've got it. And then you said Lydia just wanted. We just want to default the name for her too. Lady Serena Alderbrandt.
I'll have to ask her what she thinks of it.
Okay.
She'll be out here in a few minutes. She's still trying to get ready for bed.
That's fine. Oh, this was not as well put together as I was hoping it would be. That's okay. That's my fault. So, how much of this did you manage to get through, Tim? reading about it?
Pretty confusing, actually. I don't
Oh.
have the Savage Worlds core rulebook.
Did you get the test drive?
Is that the one that said V6 on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked at it. Don't really remember a whole lot because I basically just skimmed through it just a few hours ago.
That's fine. I've skimmed through it like 8 times today. Okay, so this is very different than what you're used to playing, which is mostly D20. So, hang on, I gotta. It's the cloud. Come on, tomorrow, Legion. All right, there we go. Okay, so you have your basic statistics. Go over the game. They have it before, and they watch it. They can get a good breakdown of what this is. The test track, the Pinnacle Entertainment Group website most of the time, and the game is based off of multiple dice and its own system. It is not a D20 game. For the, I think it is. It is not. The statistics in the book: ranged attacks, power, readiness, soaking, blast, sample powers. So Savage Worlds is its own, like I said, own system, and it is a universal system. So the big core rulebook has it's got superpowers and it's got psychic abilities, and it has your traits that are involved in the world, and each of them is assigned a derived statistic. So it's a die type that you roll when you're doing it. So instead of like in D&D where you have your strength and you just roll a D20 and add whatever it is, you have a class of die that's assigned to that. So you have like a D4.
Like the other game we played a while back, wasn't it? The pooling mechanic?
Not really. This one's a little different.
Okay.
So with that one, you were still rolling a particular set of dice. I think we were using 2d10 or something for fusion, is what you're talking about. This is not that.
Okay.
So in this one, you've got your basic stats, of which there are like, was it like 4? No, there's attributes, and then there's your charisma and stuff. So you've got your attributes, which is agility, smarts, your spirit, your strength, and your vigor. And you are, during the character creation process, which is not really in this test drive, but in the process, you are assigned different dice to them in very regulated way. But the dice types that are assigned are the D4, the D6, the D8, D10, and a D12. And on the archetypes that you guys are using, they have been pre-assigned, so you guys don't have to fiddle with any of that stuff. You can just start playing and doing your thing, which is nice. I like that they did that so that you could quick start play this game. And you've got other things that kind of affect how your character goes. You've got hindrances and edges, which give you different abilities to do things. Like, for example, and in the test drive, you actually get a list of all of them. Right there. So, like, you have a hindrance, elderly, for example. So your pace is -1, which means you move slower. Your strength is -1, and your vigor is -1 to strength and vigor die types. So that's huge. So you go down a whole die type. So you go from a D8 to a D6. And this game is based off of a target number. Usually that's based around 4, which some, positives or negatives depending on what you're doing. But for the most part, you want to get 4 or above. So you dropping from a D8 to a D6 is a huge deal. So that totally sucks. And then mean, the character suffer -2 to charisma for his ill temper and surliness. And then you have edges that do things for you as well. Frenzy, so you have to have a prerequisite for that one of a D10 fighting die. You get 1 extra fighting attack at -2, which was huge. And so on and so forth. So you've got your die types that affect what you're doing, and then positives and negatives depending on what's happening from your hindrances and your edges. So one thing that I really enjoy about the system, and in my reading of it, I haven't actually played it yet, so people really like the system though. It's Savage Worlds is and I've listened to a few sessions of it, and it sounds like a lot of fun. One thing that's really interesting is the bennies that they give you. So everybody starts with 3 bennies, is what they're called. And they give the players a little extra control on what's going on. So you can use a benny to reroll any trait test. So anything that has to do with your like agility and stuff, you can re-roll it. So if you fail a roll, you've got 3 tokens essentially to do that.
They sound kind of like the fortune points from, I think it was Middle Earth or something like that. We played that one time.
Right.
Or,
Beyond the Wall has them, but the D20 system does use them periodically depending on what system you're playing and what version of the game you're using. They've been in, but so that's one thing that's really cool, is being able to reroll crap. So if you really need to kill somebody and you miss, you have a chance to do it again. And game masters get bennies for villains too. It says in the book, at the start of each session, the GM gets 1 benny for each player character in the group. So I get 4 if no one ever joins us, and you guys each have 3. So I get to use them for my characters. And if we were playing here, I actually have a bag of bottle caps that I would have used that I kept specifically for this game, very akin to Fallout style, since this is a post-apocalyptic game. And I saved them just because of this game. Because I like rifts and it's fun to play with this. And some other cool stuff about this is aces and raises. So in the game, when you're rolling and you roll the max amount on whatever attribute die it is, so say you're making a strength test to climb a mountain, and you roll a 6 on your D6, which is crappy strength, but you roll a 6, you get to re-roll that die again and add it to your previous total. So that's called an ace. And you can keep rolling that over and over and over if you keep getting a 6. So that's an open-ended die, is what is usually called in most games. So you can get some massive, huge rolls if you're super lucky and you just keep getting aces. And that does apply to damage as well. So if you roll full damage with your D6, you can keep rolling that and keep adding it to your damage over and over and over again until you don't roll a 6.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty crazy values come out.
Yeah. In the old Decipher Lord of the Rings role-playing game, if you rolled box cards, it was open-ended, so you got to roll 1 die over and over and over and over again. And we had one guy get up to like 60 or something because he just kept rolling a 6. It was freaking crazy. It was just nuts. I was like, "What the crap? Are you serious?" It's the only time I've ever seen that happen. I've been gaming 20 years, and it's the only time I've ever seen anybody roll that many consecutive numbers. I was like, "Is this weighted?" Like, we even checked it later just to see, and it wasn't weighted at all. He was just that friggin' lucky. It was crazy. And then there's a thing called raises, which is every 4 points over the value that you were trying to get, which is, like I said, usually 4, but it's adjusted sometimes. It counts as a raise, and different things happen. So with some weapons, if you get 4 over the value to attack somebody, you get an extra die type to add to the damage. So if you get an ace and a raise, which likely you're going to get if you get aces on your damage, you can totally one-shot kill somebody. So you could have, your lowly level 1 goblin take out, like, the Pope. Essentially, the Pope of whatever fantasy world you're running around in, with just a friggin' lucky shot. But that works both ways. So you guys could totally die in a very horrible, disgusting way, or you could totally take out the main bad guy, with nothing. You can just walk in and shank him and be done, which would be horrendously disappointing.
Knowing our luck.
Yeah, knowing your luck, they do it to you. However, one thing I also do really think is cool about the system is instead of rolling for initiative, we use cards. So you use playing cards to hand out initiative. And the only one that I could find right away was the Princess Bride cards that came in a loot crate box some time ago. It was a couple years ago. But you hand out cards to the people at the table. Obviously, we can't do that, so I'm going to have to draw them for you and then let you know what they are. So we can go from there. And they go in a particular order. So let's read that. So when you are given initiative cards, you go in order of suit. So you go, numerically first, and then if there's a tie numerically, you go in order of suit. So spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Anybody who has a joker can go to whenever the crap they want, which is nice. They also get +2 to whatever test they're making, and +2 to damage if they make a damage roll, or if they make an attack roll.
Opponents, so.
Right. Yeah. Your opponents can get jokers too.
I've turned on players a few times.
Yeah. So that part sucks. I'm still kind of unsure about how all the damage and the wounds work, because like I said, I've never actually played this game before, and I've read it a bunch of times now, and it's not exactly confusing, but I've had a busy day. My retention hasn't exactly been fantastic, but we can get going, I guess. We will wait to see when Nolan turns up, probably closer to 9 o'clock. So we've already waited half an hour, and I've let him know, so we will start, and then hopefully he joins us. So for those of you who have been watching since the very beginning, I've been talking for half an hour, so I apologize that we haven't started playing the game yet, but we will start. Is Lydia actually sitting next to you, Tim?
Not at the moment. Our daughter was making some noise.
Oh, that's fine. I just heard her, and I was wondering if she was fine. Okay.
Yeah. No, her girl is frustrating to put to sleep every night because she basically will cry and scream if my wife is not next to her. She demands that my wife be next to her because she plays with her hair a lot.
Oh. Our youngest.
She doesn't have my wife's hair to play within her fingers as she's falling asleep. She'll never sleep.
You just have Lydia shave her head and make like a rag doll out of her hair, and then just give it to your kid so that she can have it next to her when she sleeps, like some crazy voodoo doll.
I have actually suggested that on multiple occasions, and every single time I've been met with an expression of murder.
Do it when she sleeps.
My wife is very, very proud of her hair.
Yeah, well, it grows back. It's okay.
I've told her that too, but she's... Yeah.
That's okay. Mine did get upset as well. But yeah, our youngest will cry for 45 minutes in his bed with his sisters in the room before he quiets down, and we just let him do it. And we make sure nothing is hurting him, but he just hates going to sleep so much. And I'm just like, nope, you got to go to bed, dude.
Yeah, well, we have a contingency plan. If she still refuses to sleep, we're basically just going to tie her door shut.
Thallium. No, don't drug your kids. No, we've had to do that too. Our oldest daughters would try and escape their bedrooms, so we had to lock the door.
Well,
sounds really awful.
Stupid because our daughter's door does not have a locking handle on it.
Yeah.
So we have to literally tie it to the door handle that's right next to it in the other room.
Yeah. So if anybody works for CPS and they're watching this, no, I'm just joking. Okay. So for those who are unaware of the Rift's setting, it is a post-apocalyptic game world where a cataclysm, if you will, happened, and the ley lines of the world kind of split everything apart. Magic showed up in a world where it did not exist, and the world went to complete and utter crap. Everything exploded, and things that were seen as mythological showed up in the world. So you had a world that was not occupied with anything that was magical or unordinary, and it suddenly became something filled with wizards and dragons and magic and psychic powers and other craziness. In addition to that, you had aliens show up to occupy the world, drawn out of rifts that were open up, hence the name of the game. So these rifts were torn open from the ley lines, and everything went to crap. there was a group that got together and is led by an emperor. They're called the Coalition. They are, I don't know, depending on your point of view on what they are the bad guys. They deny anything that is different as far as magical or otherwise is concerned. The aliens or anything that isn't normally human are called DBs, and that includes pretty much anything. However, the Coalition does make use of like mutants, dog boys, which are genetically engineered dog soldiers that hunt things down for the Coalition. And the game that Savage Worlds takes place in is after the fall of a city that was called Tolkien. The Coalition invaded, if I'm remembering my history correctly, and destroyed the city. And in this setting, a group of people got together who were led by the leader of the Cyber Knights and created the Tomorrow Legion. So in Savage Rifts, you actually play the good guys. In the normal Rifts by Palladium Games, you're just kind of people doing whatever. But this one, it was specifically kind of aimed more towards being heroic, which is nice. So you are... It's very clearly specific that the CIS, the Coalition, are not the good guys, and the Tomorrow Legion are the good guys, and the Tomorrow Legion is made up of whomever is around. So you've got your dog boys, your people who use magic, your people who are psychic, people who are pyromancers, and lots of things like that. People who are aliens and cybernetically enhanced. You've got cyborgs. You've got whatever in the system lives around, and there's just crazy stuff that happens in this game. Whatever you can think of, Rifts is going to have it. Like seriously and honestly, like I'm not just making that crap up. Like if you've seen any of the Rifts books, it is just it's crazy gonzo nuts stuff. So our players are part of the Tomorrow Legion, and they are. Let me see my notes. I've got like all these devices and all these screens sitting right next to me with all these different books open because I only this was a Kickstarter that was fulfilled recently, but I could only afford the digital package to play. So I have all these pieces in lots of different areas. So give me a sec to pull up what I wanted. We are going to be using an edited version of this. And this is where we were. That's it. Okay, so you guys are actually in. So as the world went to crap, obviously things fell apart. The United States isn't really the United States anymore. It's kind of broken up into its own areas. The Coalition owns a number of states and things like that. There's a lot of wild country. It's very Western feel now in the world. There are settlements of just things around and people trying to live. There's the central United States has a lot of problems with giant bugs called Zytosics and lots of other things going on. Canada is a really technologically advanced area, if memory serves. And South America is full of vampires and zombies and other disgusting things, which we will not be going to because I really hate going down there. But where you guys are going to be is in the Legion, is in the area of control of the Tomorrow Legion. So you are in the Oklahoma territory, kind of in the southwestern edge of the Legion's sphere of influence, and there. Since the Battle of Tolkien has been relatively recent, there is still a lot of Coalition waves of soldiers kind of patrolling and trying to gain territory. You guys have been part of recent patrols to guard the area. You already know each other. You've worked with each other before, so there's nothing. We don't need to introduce ourselves to each other because that's always awkward and time wasting. And this patrol that happened recently. It wasn't your turn. Hang on, I'm like thinking 8 steps ahead, and I need to be present in the moment. So the patrols that happened recently while you guys were resting seemed to drop off. They stopped being heard from, and it's been a number of hours since they reported in. You guys have been tasked with the job of finding out what happened to them. So that's where we're going to begin our story. So you guys are sitting in a briefing room. The room is air conditioned, so it's a nice and cool room. However, you do hear the sound of the fan of a projector coming from behind you. You're sitting in plush seats that kind of sink and mold around your body a little as you sit in them. The projector shoots an image onto the wall in front of you of a map of the area. There's some forested area that you can see, and there's a number of positions that these patrols have ceased to broadcast from. There's a man standing in front of you in the darkened room. He is dressed in the uniform of the Tomorrow Legion, and he is standing not quite at attention, but he's very straight, and he's kind of austere, and he has his hands behind his back, and he is waiting for the other patrols that are tasked with this chore, in addition to you, to kind of quiet down and begin his speaking. He has close-shaven hair. He has a small kind of goatee-ish beard. And he's got a scar over one eye. And he just stands there silently waiting. How do you guys respond?
How's it hanging?
Are you talking to him or somebody in general?
Yeah, I'm talking to the guard.
He is not a guard. He is a commander in the Tomorrow Legion.
Oh.
And he asks for you to be quiet.
Yes, can do. I can be quiet.
All right, and at that, the rest of the room will also begin to quiet down. And it says, okay, now that you have fallen silent, let's begin our mission briefing. And he'll point to the few areas on the map. He says, these areas, we have lost contact with our patrols. They were 4-man teams sent out to patrol the border of our territory to see what was happening. In this patrol, they weren't expected to come across anything. The only CIS activity that we've seen has been on our northern border, so we're fairly curious as to what might have happened to these men. You, A-Team, and he points to the 3 of you, you are to head to position number 1, and it's this position. It looks to be on top of a area that has cliff face, and there is trees that surround the base of the cliff and crawl all the way up onto the sides of this cliff area. It kind of overlooks more of the territory to the south that is not controlled by the Tomorrow Legion, but will theoretically allow them to see anything that might be coming their way. And he continues to go on with his briefing unless the other people know what it is that they need to do. He expects you to keep constant, steady radio contact with them. Just in case something happens to you, they'll be able to tell what it is that may have interrupted the other teams as they were on their patrol. They want to know what's happening, and they let you know to call backup as soon as possible. There is, or has been, border.
You might need to repeat that because you're breaking up right now. Is he still there?
You've got that lovely picture up that I can see, right?
Yeah, I know.
Looks like he's struggling in a room full of
Sounds
fire.
like, what was that?
You keep cutting out, dude. I didn't hear like the last 2 minutes of that.
Last 2 minutes of me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me fine now?
It's still a little laggy. Your video is really choppy too.
The video is just then.
What?
Because I'm looking fine. Usually when I'm lagging, video lags.
You're still breaking up.
And I just got booted.
Is that, I don't know.
You're still pretty choppy, Nicholas. And Zach just dropped.
I'm still here.
Is the audio better? Blah, 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 blah.
Sort of. It's still pretty choppy. It'll be clear,
I'm here.
and then it'll be choppy, and then it'll be clear, and then it'll be choppy.
Because you're doing that too.
Weird.
It just said there was some unknown error, so I don't know. Maybe that's.
As far as I can tell, it's working fine on my end.
No. I don't know, Zach, say something real quick. No, I can't really hear you. There was like a bit of a noise.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Fantastic.
All right, give me a sec. Let me do this. How's that? Does that sound good or sound bad? Can you even hear me? Hello?
We're still here, but the sound is still pretty choppy.
Huh. I don't know what to do about that.
Well, you're clear now, so I don't know what's up with Zach.
I don't know. Yay for technical difficulties.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know quite what to do. Zach left again. He's probably going to try and log. Still cutting in and out?
Yeah, you are a little bit. He was actually clearer than you, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Because I said all my bandwidth is fine.
Because it's normally fine for us. We usually don't have internet issues.
Oh, we've been getting some, unfortunately.
Yeah. For us, usually it's like maybe once or twice a month, if that.
Yeah.
And half the time it's them doing maintenance and they tell us ahead of time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, our internet here is actually pretty good.
It's good. Ours is But it usually works okay. I mean, lately we've been having problems, but I don't know, I've been able to stream fine and do other things, so I don't know what's happening. I'm sending and receiving fine. My speed is okay, 117. I don't know. Weird. There's something else eating my bandwidth. I don't know. My video doesn't seem to be working again, though. Turned it off, and then I turned it back on, and it doesn't want to turn on. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. If it's not going to work, I might have to reschedule again.
Oh, that's just stinky.
Yeah, it is. We'll wait and see what happens. He's been told he can't join call. What?
What?
Zach said he's getting an error message and it tells him he can't join the call. You aren't allowed to join this video call.
Just try sending him another invite.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Might have had something to do with him dropping that time about 5 minutes ago.
Wouldn't let him rejoin though. That's weird. Oh, that's super annoying. Okay, where am I? I need this email. Okay, let's see. Let's see. And you say I'm still dropping in and out? It's not very clear.
No, you sound fine now.
Huh. I wonder if it was Zach's screwy connection.
Probably. Who started the call?
I did.
Oh, strange.
I have to start it. It's under my YouTube account. But yeah, no, that's weird. I don't know what's happening. Tell you what, though, ever since this converted from being Google to YouTube, it's been extra screwy. Because it's still Google Hangouts, quote unquote, but it's all run off of YouTube instead of Google's own platform, and it's gotten all kinds of weird. Oh, maybe we should start
YouTube, please.
Well, we should probably just start looking into going with Twitch, but I don't know how Twitch works.
I've used it here and there. It's pretty easy, and I'm sure some of our users out there could probably help us out.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of videos for it. I've got it installed on my machine, and I just haven't really messed around with it much.
You know, those younger 20-somethings that are into our channel.
Oh, yeah, because we're so old at our 30s. You had a birthday recently, didn't you?
Yeah, last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to mess with my students when school starts next month.
Why is that?
Because they always ask me how old I am. One of the introduction questions. How old are you? So I always mess with them. Last year I told them I was a prime number.
Nice.
And they were guessing all over the place. Oh, 21. 21's not a prime number. How do you know that, Mr. Valley? Like, you're not a math teacher. No, I'm not a math teacher. But I read a lot, and I'm smart.
Well, people should know what a prime number is.
Yeah, you would be very surprised.
No. No, I wouldn't.
There are quite a few people that don't understand what a lot of things are.
Lest you forget, I edit government documents for a living.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually a lot of fun, but some of the stuff that comes up, I'm like, wait, what? So no, I'm not that surprised.
So I told them I'm a prime number last year, so this year I get to tell them, well, there is definitely a 2 somewhere in my age. Now figure it out.
Clearly, then you can just say that my age is divisible by 2.
It is.
And 12.
And 12. And
wait,
8.
Is it divisible by 12? No, it's not divisible.
Yes. No, not 12.
No.
8.
Yes.
And 4.
Correct.
Common multiples.
Do that. Make him solve the problem. Write it on the board. Have him solve for X. This is an English class. Hey, if you can use math and logic, you can use math and English. That was the one thing I hated about philosophy class, was using math. Like, this is philosophy. It's not math.
It's the philosophy of arithmetic.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
It did. Well, it didn't to me. That's why I got a C in the class. But
no, that's the best part, is using math in a philosophy class. Because the burning question is always, why does this not make sense?
Because it's philosophy. It's not supposed to make sense.
I've taken to reading The Wealth of Nations.
Ooh,
last couple of weeks ago.
This is really disappointing. Not the Wealth of Nations thing, but...
No, that's disappointing too. How many people don't actually know about that book?
Not in today's society. Well, I suppose it is disappointing, but it's not surprising.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know, written by Adam Smith, 1776. One of the greatest books I've ever read so far. Right up there with Dracula and
indeed.
The Art of War.
The Communist Manifesto.
That's actually next. I'm going to read that next.
I read that some years ago. It's actually really good. Not that I'm, going to be a communist or anything because of it, but it definitely has some interesting insights.
Yeah, for a guy who spent most of his adult life not actually working.
What dude who has a patronage really does? Let's face it. If all of us could be patroned by somebody, why the heck would we do normal work?
Burning question. There you go. Here's some answers, viewers.
That's right. Hence Patreon. Serious. That's what Patreon is. You pay people money to make you things that you want to see or do or play, and they get to not do normal work. Normal being a relative term, of course.
Right. Normal.
Yeah, because some of the YouTube stars and stuff, like Peter Hollins, that dude is always busy. Good music, too. I like Peter Hollins. He's a good guy in general, so can't hurt that.
Well,
and pay me to make that plug. Yeah, we might have to just call it That's disappointing.
Yeah.
So
this would be very weird to have just me and Lydia play. And I guess we could.
Not really.
I
mean, yeah, but it'd be really hard with just 2 people. Especially
we go from doing a group to turning this into a very interesting 2-person plot.
Well,
like
if I knew this system better, we could move it along faster, but it'd just be us like super struggling. Zach has played before. It's part of the reason why I'm kind of disappointed he's not. Here, let me try and send it again. Hang on, let me ask him. Okay, let's try this one more time. We'll send him another invite. Let's see if he can get it.
I got 4 weeks, and then I'm back at work.
Ooh, I've been at work the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
I have way more earning potential than you do as a teacher. It's okay. You do an important job, though. Teachers are severely underpaid. It's really tragic.
Yeah. We get underpaid for all the wrong reasons, too.
I know, it's stupid. I have a brother-in-law who's a physics teacher where my wife went to school, and we get into talks about it on a regular basis. Because he puts in a crap load of extra work. Like, he's also one of the advisors for the robotics team and stuff. He does a lot of actually like really cool stuff. And he's gone like a ton from his home, and has got 5 kids at home with she's older now, but a relatively new baby, and he's absent from his own kids' lives so that he can teach other people's kids, and he's making a fair amount, but he has to do a ton of extra activities to be able to make that. And he put in, I mean, he's got a master's degree, and he's put in more time to it, and I get hired by the government, and I make more money than he does.
The best part is I live in Idaho too, which is one of the lowest paying states in the country. So
really? I thought it was one of the higher ones.
For teacher pay, it's improving. And Idaho's #1 biggest problem is that they invest in the prison system more than they invest in education.
Oh, super good. That seems kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, I don't really fully understand why. But the nice thing here is that we don't have to wait 2 weeks to get our cars registered at the DMV, unlike California.
It costs so much.
California, you wait in line like 3 to 5 hours, and then you don't get the stuff you pay your fees for several weeks. At least my experience in California DMV. Here, you just walk in, you're in line for about 10 minutes, and then you're out.
That would be sweet. We have to get mailed our stuff here.
Yeah.
It costs a crap load of money.
No, it's nice. I pay like $50 for each car. It's pretty nice.
It's not too bad.
It gets me a 1-year registration, and they give it to you. Like when I registered for Idaho plates when we first moved here, they handed us our plates within 5 minutes. They said, okay, we just got to process the paperwork. They went into their back offices, brought me my plates, and said, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Put them on the car as soon as you get home.
Did that when we lived in Rexburg. That was nice. They did that here too, actually. At this one place we went to that wasn't the government official one. They actually had like the plates sitting there. I was like, oh, sweet, because we bought a van recently. So.
Yeah.
But when we had to get our other vehicles registered, we had to get the piece of paper, and they mailed them to us, and blah, 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 blah. Man, what is going on? Zach says he hasn't gotten the link, and I've mailed it to him like 3 times.
Well, it might have sent from your end, but whatever server he's going through to get his emails must not be getting it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Internet.
Yeah.
Because all it is just computers connected to each other.
Well, if his email is in the account, I'm assuming he lives in Canada because it ends in a .ca. And I don't know, maybe Canada's under a cyber attack. It's Russia. It's the Ruskies. Oh.
Sure, it's not one of those Nigerian princes that are offering you like 15 million or something like that.
I tell you what, I could totally use that to pay off my student loans right now. That'd be amazing. Don't
Yeah,
brag about yours. I know,
once.
I know. Hey, look, there's Nolan.
Yay, Nolan made it.
Yep.
Now we can play.
Yeah. So we did actually start the game, Nolan, because I talked about starting at 8. But Zach has been having problems. And you're all static and snow.
Yeah, I saw that.
My video's not working at all, and I don't know why. Things have just been really screwy tonight.
I'm just going to play around with this and see if this works.
I'm just static. Oh, hey.
Hi.
I see you.
Works. Yeah, I just turned my camera on. So that's good to know that that works. Okay, turned it off again.
See, now mine's not working. It was working earlier today.
Yeah, see, that was the same problem I had last time we played. Like, my webcam kept cutting out, and I know it works fine.
Okay, this is getting really, really annoying. Let's try it this way.
This is a much better webcam. I'm playing on my desktop at home instead of my laptop this time.
Right.
Kind of frustrating. This desktop actually has a better processor in it, but its graphics are worse than my laptop.
Nice.
My laptop has way better graphics, but its processor is really old. It's back from like 2012.
Yeah, my laptop is from when I graduated.
My laptop is probably going to need to be replaced soon because it's slowing down. Defragmented it and just done all the things I could to help improve its speed, and it's just regular wear and tear.
Yeah. You can only do so much.
Yeah. Oh well.
Alright, so I'm sending him a link over Facebook Messenger, and we'll see if that stinking works. So Nolan, what we had lined up so far was Zach was playing a juicer, Tim was playing a mind melter, and Lydia was going to play the Cyber Knight. I don't know, you had talked about playing the mind melter. Also, did you still want to do that, or do you want to pick something else?
I'll play whatever, I don't care.
I don't care either, so it's up to you.
Hold on a second. I have multiple computers happening.
Yeah.
Cyber Knight, Glitter Boy, Juicer, Mind Melter, Operator. Don't care about operators, thanks. Never cared about operators.
Who wants to be a mechanic when you can set things on fire with your mind?
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much, yeah. It's like being a cyber doc. It's like, hey, would you like to run a small business in your RPG?
I know, right?
No. That's too much like real life, dude.
Some people really like that, though. And more power to
Yeah,
them.
I mean, you can certainly make it interesting. It's not, I'm not making fun of it that much, but...
Right.
On the other hand, yeah, you can burn things with your mind, or you can fix other people, like, I don't know. Have a very specific repair job.
Yeah.
Like, it could be really impractical and be a city rat, and then not be in the city.
Hey, they're sneaky. It might be alright.
Yeah. I can be a burster. Why not? We talked about burning stuff with our minds, so I'll do that. Or maybe the cyborg. I don't know. Which one has the least amount of crap to look up? That's what I'm looking at here.
I don't even know. I've never played this system before.
That's why I picked the Mind Melter, because it seemed to have the least amount of drawbacks.
Yeah.
They all have some.
They do. Like, I thought about being the combat cyborg, but man, you got just as many drawbacks as you do benefits playing that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one had a lot.
Yeah.
Sounded cool,
Yeah,
though.
I'll be a first.
You said the burster?
Yeah. Why not?
Cool.
Pyrokinesis is definitely fun.
Bad. Okay. So burster. What was that?
I honestly don't know why my camera is not working. I mean, it says it's working, but then it just shows static, so...
What the junk?
Wow,
yeah, well, you're having problems, and Zach keeps saying you aren't allowed to join this video call. And I keep sending him invites, and he keeps telling me he's not allowed. He was in it.
Yeah. Should we exit and start a new one?
I don't know. I don't know if you stop a live broadcast, if it'll freak out.
Yeah.
So I think once you're done, and then it posts it.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't see the 8 o'clock start time. I was unconscious.
Oh.
Because
that's fine.
I get up
kind of having problems.
4 and I work on Saturdays, so...
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to catch a nap. And then it's like, hey, we're playing. I'm like, that was an hour ago. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We've been having technical difficulties for most of it, so...
That's disappointing to have to do all this stuff. Yeah.
Highly disappointing.
I've been looking forward to playing this, so...
I know, me too. And
I'm gonna get like a webcam and a headset and crap, because my laptop is toast.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of borrowing my wife's laptop because she actually uses it to work. I have to tell her to, like, sorry, stop making money. I need your computer. You know.
Yeah. God, I don't know why that's not working. It's weird. I didn't block him. Viewers.
Oh boy.
No, I don't want a screen share. I don't want a cameraman. Control room, Timothy Nolan. This video's off. Let's go to snaps. Suck. That's really loud.
I was just making a tower out of my dice.
Man.
Just to kill some time.
Yeah.
I even rolled a 19 on the 20.
Nice. Well, too bad we're not playing that game.
No.
Oh, crud. For people watching, sorry, we are having technical difficulties with one of our players, so we're trying to figure out what is going on. And it's taking time for anybody who is in the live chat. If you know why Google Hangouts might be telling a person they're not allowed to enter into the call when they get an invite, please let me know how to fix that. Because I don't know what happened.
I call hacks.
Yeah. So I didn't ban anybody. I'm giving him an invite. Share the permanent link. Yep. Share via email. Google Plus. He's in the chat. Hi, Zach. Send you the link one more time. I don't know what else to do other than that. Yeah, I agree. Friggin' Google. I don't know what's happening either. Well, I guess trundle on with the three of us. Zach, if you want to hang around and correct me as I make mistakes, because it's going to happen. That's not as much fun as playing, but it's up to you. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully we can, I don't know, somebody might tell us, inform us, share, or whatever. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I guess we'll just keep going. No, it's 9:16, and Tim dropped. Fantastic. Actually, it's super cursed tonight. And he's back.
Sorry, I misclicked.
That's okay. I was just like, crap! Somebody else is gonna... All right. Okay, so... Nolan, the rest of the players were in a briefing room receiving orders. A number of patrols had gone missing. You guys are in the southeastern, is that what I said? Southeastern, southwestern area of the territory of the Tamar Legion. Tamar Legion in Oklahoma. And some patrols, as I said, went missing, and you guys are tasked to go find them. The area that you were asked to go explore was, as I was talking about when everything went to crap, was that it was a heavily forested area, but it was on the top of a cliff face that was facing southwest direction in the area where a town that is helping to supply the Legion is located. This cliff is also a good tactical vantage point to see what might be approaching the Legion's territory from that direction. And you stumble in to the briefing late. The commander on duty does not look thrilled, but does not say a single word.
I'll just find a seat in the back.
He glares at you mildly, and then continues briefing the other groups that are there to help sort out this mess. What was your character's name?
Ariel.
Is that the actual name, or is that just the one you
That's
made
the
up?
default name.
Do you want to come up with a new one?
Nah.
Okay. Tim was... Yeah. Tim was... Lydia going to stick with the default name, or was she going to pick something else?
No, it's just default.
Okay. Sounds good. And it was Lady Serena, correct? Indeed. Lady Serena Alderbrandt. Okay. Alright, so Nolan, you have all worked with each other before. And your partners currently are Orson Jokande. He is a mind melter. And you have the Cyber Knight Lady Serena. And our Long Walker Sure Shot is a juicer. However, he got up during the briefing and walked out a little bit and has not come back yet. So the commanding officer finishes his briefing and releases you to go collect your gear and do your thing. Because I'm all a fluster and can't think straight now at the moment.
All right.
Rather,
let's go grab our equipment from the armory.
Okay. If anybody has any questions. No one?
No.
All right, then move out.
Let's go.
Okay, going back to the armory to grab our gear and to suit up.
Okay, so you walk through the outpost. You're not actually in the Tomorrow Legion's castle, but you're in an outpost that's closer by to this southern border here, and it's a cold military style complex. It has deck plating instead of carpeted floors, so it clinks under your boots as you walk. The walls are also a fabricated kind of metal, so it's kind of hot in this building. Even though it is air conditioned, you can still feel the heat beating down from the day's sun on the rooftops as you walk by. There are many other creatures and beings in this base as you guys walk through it. There are DBs of every kind. There's little green men with multiple arms, and there's tall, lanky creatures sitting at computers, people on communications devices trying to monitor the border to make sure that the refugees of Tolkien and the others are kept safe. As you exit the base, it is a nice summer day. It's quite warm, but it hasn't rained for a while either, so there's enough dust blowing in the wind to kind of cause you guys to cough a bit. The journey down to your destination is relatively safe, as the borders of the Tomorrow Legion are kept very strong. There's many patrols, and you can walk down to your area quite safely. And you guys get to this last known location of the patrol and are able to begin your investigation.
So who was lost exactly? I mean, who exactly are we looking for?
The commander said to ask questions if there were any. Should have asked him.
I was late. I thought you covered the basics, dude. How will we know when we find them?
Pay attention. My mind's always wandering.
Never mind. I'll just read someone's mind and figure it out. No, actually, I'm a burster, so I can't do that. So. I'll just set their hair on fire until they tell me, I guess.
So try to track them.
You may try to track them. Is that what? Do you have the ability to do that?
I doubt it. It was just an idea. Just because I can't
the mind melter can sense stuff, so I would start there.
I have the notice skill. Would that help?
I will allow it.
I have danger sense.
My spider sense is tingling.
So D6. 6.
Woo! You can keep going.
Okay. 4.
Okay. So you got a 10, which constitutes two raises? No, 1 raise in this game. Do you guys have like a napkin or something you can roll that die on? Because that's super.
I can go get one, yeah.
What
did Michelle tell me? Do you think it would work?
Yeah.
And just something to put down under a blanket, even. I'm like that. I mean, that is allowed on that table. Okay. So, as you
we
guys,
just wanted to make sure you could hear us rolling this.
Oh, I can totally hear it. We're good. You keep rolling it, and I might not be able to hear it actually. Okay. So, let me put my dice out. Okay. All right. So the evidence of what has happened to this team isn't necessarily hard to find. You can tell that they had combat in the area. There are burn marks in the trees. There are fallen branches. There's tracks in the ground to make it seem like there was definitely combat in the area. What are you guys looking for specifically, or are you looking for specific
signs of battle, like they were attacked? You know.
Right.
No bodies, though, right?
No, there are no bodies that you were able to discover.
Can we tell which direction they might have gone?
No, you see that the team came from your relative direction as they were doing their perimeter duty, but they don't seem to have left anywhere. You do see, boot prints and other tracks that you don't recognize quite as easily moving around the area, but you don't see anybody. If there were survivors, you don't see anything leading in another direction.
Are the footprints all human, or can I tell if there's any DB, anything other than human?
No, you can definitely tell that there's something other than human there.
Well, the question is, do we just start looking? Or?
Well, where?
But there are footprints, right? We can just start following them. Yes?
I guess so.
I mean, I can't think of anything else.
If they go off in more than one direction, then we're going to be doing a lot of searching.
More than one direction.
Did I freeze?
An option?
And then you hear another burst.
Sighted 6. Red River. Reports found.
Red River? Okay, who's got a map?
I thought you were the brains here.
It still need a map.
I couldn't read it anyway. I'm blind, so.
Do you have one?
You guys were shown a map of the area.
Okay.
You're not.
Let's go.
It still helps to have a map on us.
Is there a Red River around then? Do we know where that is? Or is that like a call sign or a code word?
No, there is a Red River.
Then let us go to Red River.
Let's go.
Apparently I'm attractive.
Are you now?
I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if that helps right now, but I just wanted everyone to know. Anyway, I proceed towards Red River.
Okay.
In a hurry, I guess, because it sounds like an emergency. So.
Okay, so to get to the Red River, you either have to walk several miles in either direction to go and find the nearest way down this cliffside, or you've got to climb down, or fly down, or fall down.
Climb down then, I guess. I don't know, on foot, right?
Yes. Unless somebody, can fly everyone, or you guys have some magical glidey skills or anything like that?
I don't think I do.
I might.
I don't think you do.
Walk.
You're all mind powery. I don't think you have magic.
You have telekinesis. Could you lift me down?
It has its limits.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
I have a
telekinesis
skill
is
that could
only-
get you down.
Like limits, like big time.
Are you looking for the skills?
Yeah.
I think that other paper has it better listed.
I'm not sure the skills are actually listed in the V6.
I open this one.
Only a very basic thing.
Yeah, right there.
But you should have all the skills that you need listed on your character sheets.
It is, but I don't know what they do. I can
Well, what
actually.
are they?
Page 109.
Telepathy.
What skill are you looking for?
Telekinesis. To see if I can lower our knight down the cliff face.
Wait, shouldn't she have something? She's like a Rift Jedi.
Right?
Well, let me look again. It doesn't look like it.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, page 65.
Looks like fighting is really my trait.
Yeah, you super fighty. Hey, Zach joined.
Here we go.
Yay!
Woot!
So what happened?
I went and made an entirely new Gmail account.
Huh.
Seems my old one must have tripped something, so I just made a quick one on the fly.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Yay.
I don't quite know how to respond to that, but glad to have you back. Okay, cool. So I don't know how much of it you heard. They are trying to find their way down a cliff face to head towards a town, not a town, an area called Red River.
How much do I weigh?
I'd be able to lift like your leg.
Consequently, the Red River.
Like your leg
Is this
with all...
pounds?
Yes.
Jeez, you're useless.
Of course I'm a weakling.
He's a mind melter. He's supposed to be making people's mind into jello, not lifting them with his mind. That's an entirely different person.
Maybe if I could use telekinesis to move their brain inside their cranial cavity and mush it that way.
Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic use of that ability. All right, how are we getting down this cliffside?
How far down is it?
It is... Let's make up a number real quick. Hold on, give me a sec. This is what a D10 is for. Percentage. It is not 100 feet because that's really far. We'll say it's about 50 feet down.
50 feet. Sweet. There's no way I could lift anything like that and have it survive. Because I'm a weakling.
Wait a second, I can fly.
Fly me down!
Uh-oh.
Fly us all down.
Yeah,
Can
fly
you do
us all
that?
down.
Fly increases his flying speed, power 8 points. The recipient flies at 4 times pace and is -1 to hit for range attack. Recipient flies, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I can fly. So take that.
Okay.
So
that's...
I fly down, apparently.
Okay, so...
It costs a third of my friggin' ISP, though, but...
Well, what do you decide to do?
It just says that I can fly. It doesn't... I mean, I can do that. It doesn't say anything about anyone else.
Right. So do you want to fly down and burn your ISP, or...
Yeah, I guess, unless someone's got some rope or something.
Anybody say they got rope?
I have a survival pack.
Close enough.
All right, so are we crawling down the cliff face then?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather save my ISP points.
Yeah, that's probably.
I mean, burning 8 of my 30 points just to get down the cliff is probably not the best.
Okay, so how are you guys going to go about doing this then?
Does my survival pack have rope in it?
You know what? For the sake of argument, we'll just say yes.
Okay. It's tied up and climb down.
Okay, who's going to do the tying of the knot? Hey, it's an important thing.
Here, engineering.
Engineering, would that count?
Engineering. Let's
Say yes.
see.
Say yes. Say yes.
You know what? Sure.
Yes.
Sweet. Does anyone else have the skill? Because mine's just a D4.
It's a 4.
Hey, you get to keep rolling that, remember?
We're saved.
1. A 4 and a
Okay.
1.
You got a 5. Woo! Okay, so you tie a knot. Successfully tie a knot to be able to hold your weight. That's an important thing. Now, do you guys... usually it's just 50 feet of rope. So you should be able to make it most of the way down. Since you're going to have to find a place to tie the rope off of, but it's still going to be a bit of a drop at the bottom. Not enough to really hurt anybody too badly unless they totally screw up their, climb roll down. But now you guys have to fist it, climb down. So for those who have climbing as a skill, that is a skill. If not, it is a strength test.
Yeah. Guess I'll just be throwing myself down this.
No, not good. I got a 2.
Yeah, that's not good.
What am I rolling? What do I roll if I don't have the skill?
It is a strength test or your climb skill.
So D6. 4.
Okay.
Haha, mine's a 1.
Okay. All right, Zach. Are you there? It says you're in the room, but your mic is muted. Zach, no! Oh, there he goes.
He's still there, right?
No, he just showed up again
Oh.
and dropped out.
Nope, still here.
Okay, there he goes. We're making strength or climb checks. Uh-oh.
Oh, am I making said check or no?
Yes. Unless you can fly.
Oh, I wasn't sure I was there. Okay.
No, yeah, no, you went with them.
Say, I definitely don't have climb.
Okay.
Strength it is. Whopping 7.
Woot. Okay, so half of you successfully climb down the rope, while the other half managed to I don't know, slip in some way and fall on their way down. Nolan, what is your toughness score?
Toughness score. Toughness. agility, smart, spirit, strength, vigor. Toughness score 12, and then a 6 in parentheses.
Okay. I don't know.
The second number is without armor.
Without armor.
Cool.
Yeah. So it tells you what your basic toughness is. If, like, say, an attack goes through armor, you use just your basic toughness. That first number is with armor.
Okay.
Okay, cool. See, this is why I wanted him here. So thank you for that. Okay. So your armor absorbs the damage you would have taken. But you still feel kind of, other than your pride being mildly bruised, you're kind of like, ugh. Tim, what was your toughness?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. You get the wind knocked out of you a little bit, but you don't take any permanent damage on your way down.
Yay.
Okay, and you guys have successfully climbed down a cliff. Sort of successfully climbed down the cliff.
Should we leave
We have successfully descended the cliff, one way or another.
Yeah.
Because not all of us climbed. We have descended the cliff.
Okay.
Should we leave the rope for when we need to get back?
Probably not a bad plan.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Okay. So you guys walk off into this very thick wood, excuse me, in search of the Red River, several miles away from the cliffside. So as you guys walk through the forest, do you guys want to be in any kind of walking order? Do you want to be doing anything actively, or are you just traipsing through like it's an afternoon hike on a Sunday?
Well,
Should probably
our mind
exercise.
guy should probably be in the middle.
Want to exercise a little bit of caution. Yes, protect me. You are all my bodyguards.
Well, you have a juicer. They're very excellent at being body shields.
Yeah, the juicer doesn't want to do that. I'm hiding. I'm planning to be sneaky. I don't want to be seen by what's down here and killing patrols.
Well, we can all be sneaky, or at least try.
You have somebody who lights himself on fire regularly. I don't think you're sneaky.
No.
Well, then he makes a great target while the rest of us circle the enemy.
Yeah, he's literally a torch. That's.
It's true. I'm basically the Human Torch. Even fly and everything, so.
Yeah. Flame. You have to say flame on at one of these points when we're doing.
I'm not doing that.
You need to. It's a requirement. I'm requiring it now. Okay. All right.
Well, who wants to walk?
Well, you don't necessarily have to have a marching order. I'm just wondering what your plan is as you're walking through this area.
I mean, the Mind Melter has the super sensing abilities. So, one of the sensing people should be in front. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no.
You're all cowards. I'll go in front.
Well, you're right.
Rifle and I'm keeping low.
I'm a paladin, basically.
Send your wife to die.
Not a paladin. Not a paladin. Cyber Knight. Not the same.
Close enough.
No, they're not.
Okay, Cyber Knight.
There
I'm
you
the
go.
only
Jedi
noble one.
Light.
Paladins are annoying. Cyber Knights are not.
Okay.
Paladins are not annoying.
Yes, they are.
Just because I have to arrest Tim every game.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay. Okay, so you guys are walking. See, you said the Cyber Knight is in front, kind of doing her thing.
Keeping an
So
eye out.
what are you doing specifically? Are you trying to use an ability? Are you doing, like, what is it you're specifically doing? Describe it to me.
Well, I'm looking. I'm looking around, watching for danger. Shut up, Tim. I'm looking for danger.
Okay.
Shut up,
All right.
Tim.
So, as you're trying to use your spidey sense, as you walk through this wood, you are periodically tangled up in the underbrush. It's very thick and it's very snaky. It's oddly thick for the area, we'll even say. But you guys can hear the river in the distance the longer you walk. And eventually you come upon something in the distance that attracts your attention. You see a number of flies buzzing around something.
Uh-oh.
Tasty. Let's go see what it is.
Okay. So as you guys come up to inspect this, are you going to do anything specific or just look at whatever it is you're looking at?
Instead of going straight towards it, I'm kind of going to flank around the area.
Do a perimeter check?
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing specifically? Are you using a survival check? Or like, what are you using a skill? Are you using an ability? What are you doing?
Notice is probably the only skill I can use here.
Do what?
Notice.
Notice.
5.
Okay. You don't notice anything other than what you've already taken note of, the underbrush being extraordinarily thick, oddly extraordinarily thick, as you look around the area. Anybody else doing anything specific?
I will see if I can notice anything farther out.
Okay.
Shall I roll?
Are you using the skill notice?
I'm using the skill notice.
Then yes.
5. Yes.
Well, he's looking around. I've got my rifle out. I'm staying low. I'm waiting for something.
Okay.
Who knows what's out here?
Very true. So what do you roll, Nolan?
I rolled a 5.
Rolled a 5. Okay. You also don't notice anything in particular about the area in which you're standing.
Okay.
But you examine the thing in front of you. And hold on, my phone shut off. What you notice is that it could have been a very large bear. It looks like it might have been at one point very, very tall bear. Without having a tape measure of any kind, you're not really sure exactly how tall it is, but it looks like it could be around 2 to 3 times the height of a normal man if it stood on its hind legs. But what's interesting about this carcass, this corpse in front of you, is that it's completely ripped to shreds. I mean, there's just meat hanging off of it like it got stuck in a deli grinder, and it's pretty gnarly looking. Does anybody have any other skills they might want to try and use to examine this corpse?
Could I try, like, Knowledge Arcana?
You may.
Alright. 3.
Okay, you don't discover anything within your realm of knowledge that reveals anything new about this bear that you have found.
This is on the way to the Red River, correct?
Correct. It's far away still, but you can hear it in the distance.
Okay. Well,
So close enough for you to hear, but still pretty far.
If we don't notice anything, we should probably keep going then.
How closely are we examining this thing?
I don't know. Take a few minutes to look at it. Whatever a regular notice check is. However long that is. A minute or two, nothing more.
Oh, so are you trying to notice the carcass now and not just the area around it?
No, I was trying to notice the area around personally. So if I don't notice
Right.
any immediate danger and they don't notice anything about the corpse, then I'm moving on.
So who all is examining this thing then?
I tried, but I only rolled a 3.
I'm going to use notice.
Okay.
5.
All right. So those who look at it, it's pretty noticeable. Some of the things that pop out, even with a technically failed check, you'll still see that periodically, as you look over this bear, the patches of fur give way to a sort of hard shell, like you would see on a crab or other insect. Around this bear's jaws, you will also see that there are mandibles in addition to teeth.
This bear has mandibles, or
The bear has mandibles.
so it's not a bear.
It seems to be a bear.
With mandibles.
Is it turning into something? Should we shoot the corpse just in case?
Sounds like Island of Dr. Morrow stuff.
I say we take its head off.
Also, Tim, you notice that on one of its hands there are no claws, but toes.
Well, this is hardly unusual anyway. I mean, really.
Hey, check it out. This one has toes.
This kind of crap happens all the time.
How? Okay.
I still say we take its head off.
Can I cut this body open?
You can.
Sweet.
Dissection.
All right, well, luckily for me, I don't need to touch it. So I'm just going to cut it open.
With what?
His lightsaber.
My psi blade.
See, I was right.
His lightsaber. Okay. All right. As you begin to cut into this decomposing corpse, it actually bursts a little upon you. You've let some trapped gases out, and it splatters you and Lady Serena with a bit of its gore.
And that's why I stood there.
Lovely.
And then you begin to hear some cawing above you.
Now look, carrion birds, fantastic.
Yes, as the juicer looks up to see the carrion birds, it seems that there are an extraordinary amount in the sky.
Yeah, let's
That's
see.
not good.
Time to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're next to the river, right?
I was going to say, let's jump in the river.
I'm going to jump in the river real quick and rinse this stuff off of me.
No, you're not next to the river. It's close enough that enough for you to hear it, but it's still quite far.
Okay, last one, there's a rotten egg.
All right,
And
as
I
you guys-
Well, you smell like it.
What was
Running
that?
is probably not a good idea.
Well, you smell like a rotten egg, so
We roll
let's
the
get you
grass a bit.
All right, as you guys discuss this and continue to walk, more birds begin to appear in the sky. And it's thick now that it's casting shadows on the ground, and the birds begin to move in these unnatural patterns. Some of them seem like arcane symbols, others seem like they could be letters of a language you don't know, but they begin to shift and move subtly, and then quickly and swiftly head in your direction.
I'm ready to shoot him if necessary.
yeah.
Good, because we're going to have some initiative going on.
Hooray!
Yay, we're going to do some interesting things, and I'm going to get super lost, because this is a really different and weird combat system, but really awesome at the same time. Okay. Let me find out where we're going here. Okay. All right, so with this, as I was talking about with Tim earlier, we use cards for initiative, a card deck. and jokers are really what we would love. Okay, so I'm going to go from what I see is left to right. So Nolan, you get the 9 of spades. Write that down. Lydia, you get the 10 of clubs. Write that down. Tim, you get the 3 of diamonds. Zach, you get the joker of clubs. And the swarm gets the king of clubs.
Oh man, we're in trouble.
Okay, so that would be the swarm of birds goes.
Hello?
Sure shot, huh?
Oh, you cut out for a second.
Oh.
You cut out for a sec there.
Am I still good?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the bird swarm, and then it's Long Walker, and then we have Orson Jacande, I believe, right? No. It was Lady Serena was next. Orson goes last. Lady Serena. And then we had the Burster Ariel. And then we had Orson Jocanda. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, and they will attack those who were covered in the bear gore. Okay, sorry, I'm reading their stats and stuff. Okay, so this counts as a melee attack. And they have that. The birds pick and scratch and take by automatically dealing 2d4. And since it's a swarm of birds, they apparently have a special ability of an acid bite. Alertness, danger sense, toughness, parry, pace, toughness. So it doesn't look like they even get to make an attack. The birds peck, scratch, and vomit acid on everyone within the template, automatically dealing 2d4 AP6 mega damage to the victim's least armored location.
Ouch.
Ouch.
So that would be the Cyber Knight and the Mind Melter. Take 2d4, but the damage has to get past their armor or their toughness, right? So that's 7 damage, but then they have armor penetration 6. So that means they ignore 6 toughness, or is that?
They ignore 6 toughness worth of armor.
Right. So Tim and Lydia, take that into account.
So you rolled a 7, right?
7, yes. 7 damage, but they ignore the first 6 points of your armor.
Well, I'm toughness 15, so they didn't get through.
So how much of that is your armor? How much of your toughness 15 is your armor? So remember when we said that your toughness had 2 scores? The 14.
The one in the parentheses is 6.
Correct.
So 9.
9.
Right. Okay. So see, they had the 6 and then the 9. So and the 7, the 3 left over. Okay. So they wouldn't get past your toughness. Is that correct, Zach?
They would not.
Right. Okay, so yeah, you are fine. Sorry, I had to do math. Is not my strong suit, and my brain is dying because I've had a busy day. For them, and then the wine melter. It's 4. It's 5. What is your toughness?
My toughness is 11. Without armor, it's 5.
Okay, so they ignore the first 6 of your armor, which ignores your armor entirely, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And their damage was 6. So that gets through the rest of your toughness. Am I correct?
Yep.
Which means you are shaken? Is that the way this works?
Yep. So if it meets his toughness or beats it by 3, he's shaken. If it goes past that, every 4 past that is a wound on top.
Okay. It was 1 past.
Just 1 past his toughness?
Correct.
So he's only shaken.
Okay. And we can just read Shaken real quick out of their little book here. So we know what it does. Okay, Shaken. Shaken characters are nicked, bruised, or otherwise rattled. If you're familiar with games that use hit points, think of being shaken as losing a few. There's no real effect, but the character is slowly being worn down. Characters can become shaken by tests of will, results, fear, and most commonly damage. Shaken characters may only move half their pace, which doesn't matter in our game, and can perform no other actions, including running. A shaken character automatically attempts to recover at the beginning of each action by making a spirit roll. A failure means he remains shaken, though he may move half his pace as outlined above. With a success, the recovery check consumes the hero's entire round, but the character recovers and can remove his shaken counter. With a raise, the character recovers instantly and may act normally. If a shaken character is shaken again by a damaging attack, the character takes a wound instead. Getting 2 shaken results is an effective tactic against opponents with high toughness scores. Try setting up these foes with a test of wills to shake them, then follow up with something a little more lethal.
A shaken is either them twitching, or they're stunned, or otherwise distracted by pain or something like that.
Right. So, how do we know how many wounds we have?
Most, if we're considered wild cards, which most player characters are, we have 3.
Okay. Okay, so Tim, you are shaken. Creatures only have 1 wound and are incapacitated. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I see it now. All right. Okay, so you are stunned by these birds and their acidic pecking. Oh crap! And that makes it Long Walker's turn.
Well, I'm going to try and get them off of them.
Okay.
I'm going to go for, well, the chainsword. And just try and keep them off of him while he recovers.
Okay.
So, in my case, chainsword is it's a melee attack, so it uses fighting, which in my case is a die 10.
Nice.
And I rolled a 7. Is that enough to hit the bird's parry?
Let me find it. Spirits figure, notice, awareness, danger, acidic. They get parry +2. Where is their parry score? Where is it? It's parry 7. Ah, there it is. Okay. They have a parry of 6.
So I just barely beat it.
Right.
So no raises on the damage, but...
Right.
Let's take a look. Chainsword, strength +2 die 8. Doing a whopping 14 mega damage.
Okay. Yeah, you will definitely burst through their toughness. And get 1 raise. Correct.
Fancy. So I actually cause a wound to them, huh?
You do indeed. And with your nasty chainsword buzzing, you take down enough birds that the others are startled and retreat into the sky, but are still buzzing around, waiting to attack. That makes it Lady Serena's turn.
Well, if they're up in the air, then I'm going to shoot them.
They're still close enough that you could technically melee attack them, but because it's not their turn, so they can't really move. But they've,
Okay. Well, then can I use my Psi Sword on them?
Yeah. Everybody
Okay.
wears psionic weapons.
Oh, yeah. So how does this work? Strength plus 2 times spirit damage. Just 2d8 plus 1d6.
Sorry, I was reading. Yeah. So you use your fighting skill and compare it to the opponent's parry.
Okay, I gotta do that first.
Yes.
3.
Yeah. Your fighting roll was 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're too distracted by the birds trying to, peck you with their acid that you have not been able to make a connection. Ariel, it's your turn.
I will attempt to shoot them with a flame bolt.
Ooh,
Uses
fun.
psionics skill.
Okay.
8.
8. An 8 will beat their parry, and you get a raise.
What is a raise? I mean,
It means you got
more money at work.
Yeah, I wish. No, it means you really, really hit them, essentially.
Right.
So the base test for most of this stuff is 4. However, obviously stats change and do different things. But if your hero rolls 4 over again, you get what's called a raise. And sometimes, depending on what's going on, like for some weapons, if you get a raise, if you attack them, they do more damage. Does that make sense?
Mention anything about that? So.
Yeah, raise is basically just a critical success.
Nice.
You get a little bit better damage, things go a little bit more your way.
Right.
Cool. So what does that mean in terms of me rolling damage then?
Nothing.
Okay.
If it doesn't say anything
It
in
doesn't
your
say anything here.
ability
Okay.
or whatever. That just means you really, really got them.
Oh, goody. I shall roll the damage then.
Correct.
4d6 mega damage.
Nice.
I know, right? Oh, that's the worst roll I've ever seen, though. 7 out of 46, apparently.
Well, you...
Is that right? That's the worst thing I've ever heard. My goodness. Sorry. Yeah, that's what it says. 7.
No, that's not good. Well, you meet their toughness. So that is them, if the damage roll is success equal to or higher than the victim's toughness, he's shaken. So they are still...
Shaken.
No, wait. They were shaken by Zach's attack. So you do damage, correct? Is that the way this is working now?
Yep. If
Yeah.
a shaken effect would be applied again to a target that's already shaken, they suffer a wound instead.
Correct. Okay. So you already gave them a wound. It's a swarm, so it's kind of wonky. But they have taken another wound. So there are many, many less birds. You have shot your firebolt, and it's turned a bunch of them into crispy fried chicken.
Excellent.
Orson, it is your turn to try and recover yourself from being shaken. And if you recall, that is a spirit roll.
Okay. Shouldn't be hard. This is a pretty good die. I got a 6.
Okay, you recover from being shaken. Shaken character, shaken again. No, that's not what we're reading. A shaken character automatically attempts to recover. With a success, the recovery check consumes the hero's entire round, but the character recovers and can remove his shaken token. With a raise, the character recovers instantly and may not act normally. You said you got a 7?
6.
6. Okay, so you did not get a raise, but you just recovered. So on the next round, you may act. Since the large swarm of birds is around, they will continue to try and attack, and they will do this. The pace, parry, toughness. This fighting strength. No, within the template, automatically dealing. Oh, that's right. And since the Cyber Knight and the Mind Melter did not move, they automatically deal or get dealt 2d4 worth of damage again. So that is.
I guess I'm in the template as well, eh?
Yes, since you.
They'd probably be coming after me as well because I'm trying to protect him.
Right. Okay, so there's. Oh, crud. It's dropping. Okay, so they don't do anything to the Cyber Knight once again. Uh-oh. And that's 3 and 3, which makes 6. So, Tim, you said you had 6 points of armor and 5 points of toughness?
Yep.
Okay, so you are shaken once again by a second attack.
Wow.
And the juicer gets attacked in the template for let's see, 7 points of damage with 6 AP. I don't know what your armor is.
Doesn't get over my modified toughness.
Okay. So you're good to go. They attempt to bite you, but your juiced up senses are too much, and you are able to move quickly enough that they are not attacked. Okay. It is Longwalker's turn.
Yeah, my focus isn't so much on the birds coming after me as the ones coming after Tim, because it seems like he's having a hell of a time with them.
Yeah. No, the birds. He's watched that Hitchcock movie too many times.
Yeah, I'm still going after them with the chainsword. I'm trying to keep them off of him, because if they manage to drag him to the ground, he's going to meet the same fate as that bear.
Okay.
Right, let's see how we do. The fighting roll was 8.
Okay. It is a 1 raise.
Oh, fantastic. Alright, so strength plus 2 die 8 sword. 13 damage total.
Okay. Yeah, since the hit has been mildly shaken, although once again, like I said, it's a swarm, so it's kind of screwy, but you will have destroyed enough of them that they take off into the night and have retreated, although this is not exactly the way combat goes down. I'm the Game Master. Okay, so so you guys are safe from the swarming birds, and they have retreated into the night. Not the night, because it's not night, it's the middle of the day, but you know what I mean. And you have successfully survived your first combat. Yay!
Yay.
Nobody took any real damage.
Good.
I didn't die.
Yeah. Okay, so there are many of these bird bodies on the ground at this point now. Some are crispy-fied, and others are, cut in twain by chainsword.
Okay, I'm just going to give the more recognizable ones a closer look to see if there's anything unusual I can spot about them.
I'm getting the gore off of me.
Okay.
I tap the Mind Melter on the cheek. Don't worry, man. It happens to the best of us.
Okay, can I go ahead and do a notice roll?
Yeah, you totally can.
A 5.
Okay. As you inspect these birds, you'll notice that some of them do look normal. Nothing seems wrong with them whatsoever. However, others seem to have the same patches of crustacean or bug shell on their bodies instead of feathers, and some of them seem to have the sort of looking insect wings as opposed to feathery bird wings. And those ones that seem to be mutated also have sacs on either sides of their beak where you assume the acid was coming from.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be cutting any of those open anytime soon. Okay. Well, now that that's over with, shall we keep going?
Are you gonna clean yourself?
Yeah, let's get some of that gore off you guys before more of these things show up.
I wear this as a badge of honor.
I will push you in the river.
All right. Spit shine.
Okay, so as you guys continue to walk in the direction of the river, the trees break and it opens up onto this plain in front of you, and you know there's nice thick and tall plains grass.
And you cut out there.
Can you say the end of that sentence again?
Something about plains grass?
Hello?
He's dead, Jim.
Oh, man.
Man, we're having a heck of a time with technology today, huh?
I want my money back.
Yes.
Didn't pay any money.
Blah, blah, blah.
There he
There
is.
you are.
Okay, jeez. Seriously, if I bump anything on my computer, everything just freaks out. Okay, I so need a new laptop. All right, that's what I was saying. The plains grass. Okay, so you guys walk out onto into the trees part, the plains grass, the sun glinting off of the golden grass. In the wind, the river is in front of you, and in the distance, far in the distance, several miles walk, you see a mound peeking over the horizon.
Mound?
A mound, and that it looks like it's
I was afraid of this.
a mound that has
An insect mound.
made of mud and other earthenware.
Insect mound. It looks like a giant wasp nest.
It's just for you, man. I want you to know that.
I thought that, like, as soon as you said insects, I was like, no, man.
I know how much they are your favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go down to the water and clean this stuff off of me.
Good idea.
Yep.
Good idea.
Is the mound out right in our path to the river, or
What was that?
is the mound in our path to the river?
No, it's beyond the river, beyond the Tomorrow Legion's territory, known territory, and several miles from the river. But you can see it kind of crusting over the hill in the distance.
Oh, it's that big. Damn.
Yeah, and you can see periodically dark specks moving to and from it.
All right, folks.
We need to call this in.
Yes, we do.
Get you cleaned up so they can't keep smelling you.
Yeah, that first.
Okay. Clean me. And let's call this in.
Push.
Some
Splash.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
While they're cleaning themselves, I'm popping up my plasma projector, and I'm just watching the river. In case they get jumped without their equipment or their weapons, I want to make sure they have covering fire to get back to me.
Okay, sounds good.
No one wants to get ambushed while having a bath.
What is everybody else doing other than the two bathing?
I'll see if I can look around the general area we are for signs of our lost patrol.
Okay. Are you noticing, or just...
I will notice, yes. I don't want to go hunting too far, but
Okay.
I do want to see if there's anything in our immediate area.
Okay.
Hold on. What's my notice? D6.
Stay in sight there, Torchy.
5.
Okay. You will notice a piece of equipment that seems to have impacted the ground.
Oh, fantastic. I'll go over to inspect it.
Okay. It's just a small handheld computer that has communication capabilities and also allows for some life sign scannings and other such things like that.
Can I tell if it belonged to one of our people or not?
It looks like gear that you guys use on a regular basis. It is severely damaged. It seems to have gotten hit with some sort of excuse me, acidic spot burn. Some of it looks eaten away a little bit, and there's some liquid left chewing on it. It's also been dropped, so it's gotten some impact damage. But you can clearly tell that it's equipment that you guys use on a regular basis.
Yeah. Looks like they ran into this nest and then got taken out.
Did you say it had impact damage?
Correct.
Is it possible that our people got carried away and they dropped it? Like actually flew into the sky? Because, I mean, we didn't find any bodies.
If enough of those birds picked them up, they could carry someone our size. That's not good.
They're bug food, man. They have eggs in their belly already.
We might want to get in there before they die.
Do you think we can take on the nest on our own, though?
No.
Well, we'll call it. At the very least.
Okay, is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, who's gonna make the call?
Me.
Okay, make the call.
Okay. How do I work this thing?
Use your mind powers.
I use my mind powers to do things. I don't use them to manipulate technological stuff.
No, I meant never mind. Okay, so you're using your communication device of whatever it is to make contact with your base.
Yes, it's part of my survival gear, along with my collapsible 10-foot pole.
They're very important to have 10-foot poles. Okay, so what are you doing specifically? You need to have a conversation here.
Okay. I'm dialing the commander.
Okay. You have a semi-holographic or whatever kind of communicator, and his image pops up on the screen. It says, "Report! You were supposed to report regularly. You're late."
Yeah, we ran into some problems, but we took care of it.
What kind of problems?
All right, so, sir, what we've discovered is some local buzzards in this area have attacked us. So that explains the delay. We found a broken communicator, one of the standard issue ones, but it seemed to have acid damage and impact damage of some kind. There's no trace as of yet of the other patrol that was sent ahead of us. We're still looking for them, but we have a pretty good idea of what's become of them. Sir, are you aware of of an anthill right outside of our territory to the north.
Son, I don't understand what an anthill would have to do with anything. Tell me more about this impact damage.
Okay, well, it's hard to tell, but if I had to guess, it looks like it was dropped from pretty high.
Show a picture of the hive.
Okay. Here, how about you take a look? I'm going to move the camera all the way over to the area that we're looking at. You see that okay?
You'll hear him string together a number of words that are not very kind. He says, Zeta 6, I need you to go over there and give us as much information as possible.
No.
Oh, no.
We need you to recon the area.
I'm hoping I'd hear Zyzix from over there.
Oh, he's not exactly being quiet, so you can hear the conversation.
Step my ass over. Commander, are you kidding? Those are Zyzix. They'll rip us apart.
Be careful. We need as much information as possible if we're to counter this threat.
I mean,
clearly our other team is capable. You're there. It's your job now. Over and out.
Oh, great.
Find new ways to hate him.
Well, shoot.
And
Cavalry
for tonight,
mess it up.
yeah, I'm gonna say, we were gonna play this the next 2 sessions, so we're gonna stop there tonight and talk about what we think of the system so far. So we've had some basic skill rolls, some basic stat rolls, some basic combat. What do we think of Savage Worlds so far?
I like
It's different.
Yeah. I like that you just roll a die and not like a pool. You know?
Yeah.
There's less math involved that way.
No, I like the differing die thing, and how it scales for the advancement and whatever you have. So I like that there's like the target number is a basic 4, assuming that there aren't other factors involved like darkness and slippery and whatever else that could adjust the number. But I like that it's like base number 4, and then you have your scaling dice that increases increases or decreases the odds to get over a 4. I think that's super interesting. What other things do we like about it?
I like the open-endedness of the dice rolling, because that makes me a lot more eager to want to roll for different things.
Right. I do like open-ended dice, exploding dice, as people generally call it, but they call it aces and raises in this. So Nolan, I think we had talked about it. I'm trying to remember what you would have heard, and I know I've talked to you about it before, but when you roll max on the die, you continue to roll that die until you no longer roll the max on the die.
Yeah.
I'm super looking forward to somebody just doing a crap load of damage one day.
Oh, I actually did that last time. I should have kept rolling on my 8.
Yeah. Yes, you should have.
It's fine. I don't get anything for getting more rises on that power, but yeah.
Right. So what are some things that we may not like about the system?
Well, I didn't build my character, so being unfamiliar with the system is taking a little bit of time to get to it. But it's a pretty small stat block. I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount of things.
No, it's as far as your attributes are concerned, the things that your characters can do and are determined by. It's like 4. I mean, it's more than that. So you've got your agility, your smarts, your spirit, your strength, your vigor. There's 5 instead of the 8 or 10 or 12 I've seen in some games. And I'm like, man. So it's very basic, which is cool. I clearly need to read up on the combat more, and that was the thing that I was reading the most today, most often, to see if I could get it correctly. Because I mean, it works kind of differently. You know, you've got your basic attack that you have to exceed the person's parry for, and then you have damage that's supposed to exceed something else. That's neat, but I personally think it's a little redundant to have to exceed somebody's other score twice. It's kind of neat how they did it, though. I definitely think it has a more cinematic feel than some other systems. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was getting that impression too. Like it's
Zach,
a
you've
lot
played
more
this a ton.
dramatic and movie-like.
Yeah. Zach, you've played this a ton. What do you think? Having played with us now and us fumbling through it, do we do a crappy job? Are we doing all right? What do you think for first timers?
You all did a pretty solid job. You seem to have got the concepts quite quick, which says a lot for Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
And as that statement, you guys feel that it's very cinematic, right? That's
right.
what Savage Worlds was designed with in mind. Their tagline is fast, furious, fun. It's supposed to be really snappy combat turns where things can swing really wildly. It's unpredictable. That's why the Joker gives you bonuses, right?
Right.
On the initiative cards. It's supposed to be chaotic.
Right. I mean, it's combat. It is very much that way. And like I said, I just because I don't have a lot of experience with it, it seems kind of odd at the moment. I like the concept of it, but I'm still trying to figure out how to wrap my brain all around it because I didn't have time to focus like I wanted to. So hopefully, the next time we play, things will go a little bit smoother since we've kind of I think worked out some of the kinks on what we were thinking, a little bit, which was nice. So hopefully next time, when you guys either attempt to avoid invading a Zeta 6 hive, or you decide to invade it to look for your missing team members, we'll see what kind of trouble we can get you guys into and out of using Savage Worlds and Savage Rifts. So I had fun. I like working through new systems and figuring out what the designers were trying to accomplish. And so far, I'm having a really good, favorable impression of actually playing Savage Rifts. Though it is new, it is pretty quick to get. I like that. I love that. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, the reason why I'm having such an easy time with it is because I've played crap loads of D&D before. But I think if I was new coming into it, it's not a hard game, but there's way more to it, I think, than there is with Savage Worlds. What about the rest of you? What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. It's not unapproachably difficult, but there's different tiers. It depends on how crunchy you want your rule sets to be.
Right.
And you kind of we've been sampling a bunch of different kinds, and it's good that they've been, for the most part, easy to get.
Right.
Something like, what is that one game? I can't remember now. The French one that we have the...
Oh, Agone?
Yeah, that one would be like ridiculous because it's like 40 different stats.
Yeah, that one's pretty... I still have a hard time figuring out what the crap you're trying to do.
If we were ever to play that, we would have to play it for a while because it wouldn't be worth like learning the system to just play like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, no. Or Confrontation, the other French one that I would love to try, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
That one's also pretty brutal. And the translation is awful, so it's... Not only are you working through a really bad...
French isn't that far off of English. I mean, it's not like nobody speaks both or anything.
Yeah, I know. It surprised a lot of people. The production value is super up there, but the translation is just really bad, especially in the Confrontation book. They did a really good job with Agone, even though it's a confusing system. But
it's so art and creativity based. That's really a weird concept for an RPG.
No, it is, and there are some other ones, or even the original Rifts, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I was so jazzed when Pinnacle released the statement that said that they made that deal with Palladium to print this, and I was like, I have to back this right away It was the very first Kickstarter I ever backed was this thing, and then I've kind of run away with it. I've got like, I don't know, 30 or other Kickstarters that I've backed since then. It's been a lot, but I mean, I was just like, yes, please. I love the setting. I love the idea of it. The system wasn't my favorite, the Palladium one. It's fun. I get it. I've played it forever, and I've played it for so long that it's kind of, you know, when we play it, it's been a long time since I have played it, so I'm probably going to fumble through it. But it's kind of backwards of D20. It's to Microsoft what Apple is, if that makes sense. So Rifts is D&D's Apple. Not necessarily working better, not necessarily sleeker, but it's like friggin' backwards. You know, the search bar is on the top of the screen instead of on the bottom in default, and like the start button's in the wrong space. Like, you know, but it's similar concepts. You know, you roll a d20 and you add some stuff, and your skills are percentage, and you know, the system really confuses a lot of people. But with Savage Worlds picking it up, I'm super excited to see where it goes, the property goes, and I hope that they do a lot more with it than what's out right now. I thought they'd had plans to, but I haven't heard anything in a while. But I really, 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 really want them to do South America with the Vampire Nations, because they scare the crap out of me.
That would be good.
Conversion book would be cool.
A conversion book would be cool. I'd also love to see them expand on the Zeta 6 stuff, because those are always fun. Not fun. They're love-hate relationship with that.
Classic evil alien bug hunt stuff.
Yeah.
I'd also love to see their the Savage Worlds guys take on Free Quebec.
Free Quebec would be cool.
Glitter Boys.
Yeah, or England. Having them come out with an England book would be sweet. Avalon and stuff coming back, and you're running around with like King Arthur and crabjacking up people with plasma weapons. Yes, please. I know this is why I love Rifts. It's like so jacked up, but it's like so much stinking fun. So I'm super looking forward to digging into this a little bit more next time. So thanks guys for joining us and playing, and thanks for those who sat and watched and who came in and out and even gave us a test run as we were having our massive technological difficulties, which seems to be a humongous theme as we play, getting really annoying. So Zach, it was great that you can actually come back and join us. I have no idea what the crap happened with your account. Hopefully we can keep using this one, though, and keep you rolling it in the game. So thanks, everybody, for coming out. I appreciate it. We will see you next month as we play this again. And then I think we're playing Basic Fantasy after that. I can't remember now. But I'm looking forward to some of the other games we'll be playing, like the Cthulhu Light game, one of them. That one should be super fun. We'll play that in October. But come back, join us next time. Hopefully we'll have less technological difficulties, and we'll be able to squash some bugs. So thanks, everybody. Happy gaming. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.